You're still watching Ways. Today is World Genital Autonomy Day. This is a day to promote personal choice, children's rights, consent, and personal autonomy. So on the 7th of May in 2012, a court in Germany came to a verdict regarding the legality of circumcision. The court found that non-medical circumcision was an offense based on existing laws. This followed on from a boy who had nearly died from complications after a medically unnecessary circumcision. This one is a bit tricky in our part of the world, you know? Like, it's not our culture, it's not up for discussion, is it?
You don't even, before you know what is going on, you're under the knife and done, dusted.
Like, when I had my son, it sounded like it was such a big deal. Are you going to say, I'm not thinking, my faith is how we do it.
Yes.
My culture is how we do it.
You're supposed to.
Do you get what I mean? And it felt like there was this whole big drama, so we had to have a Jewish person come and do it, and it was a lot of ceremony. I'm thinking, Nigeria, one time, I even remember, like, as a child, seeing like these old women and they use engine oil. Once they do, they just engine oil
That
around
one,
it.
I'm not sure I can stand.
You know, but
I can't watch it.
They didn't let me watch it. Actually, me, I was like, I need to be there. I need to see what you're doing. But no, you can't be there. But interesting. Around the world, I guess different cultures. So, you know, people out there who are not faith-driven don't understand why. But anyway, to those who are celebrating the day, enjoy. So, Dama, we'll start from you. What did you find for us in the news?
Oh, wow. The news that hit me today was on the passing of the GO of Redeemed Christian Church, his son, the passing of his son, Pastor Adeboye. And it was really painful at the time because coincidentally I was in a meeting earlier in the day, and the cause of that meeting, I found that the president, it was a Toastmasters meeting, and our president was speaking. Suddenly it felt like she got the news just before she was called to give her closing remarks at the end of the meeting, and you know, she just said a thing or two and said, you know, excuse me, please, may I be excused? I have to leave now. So hearing the news later on in the day, I kind of suspected that that must have been because she's a Redeemed Christian Church of God member, and they must have heard the news at the time. And I heard it and I felt really sad because this is someone who is 42. I hear that he was supposed to be turned 43 in June. And really, I think of it, this is my age grade, right? And hearing about young people losing their lives, it's just, it gets to me in a way, because somehow I feel that there's this part of you that hasn't been fulfilled, even though I'm not in the place to say that. But I really would like to say, I'm sorry, we pray for the family of the Adeboyes, and we ask that God will really comfort them at this point, and that he will rest in peace.
It's sad though.
It's never good news when you hear your child going before you. It's never good news
never is
at all.
I think what was sad for me was just to see people's reactions on Twitter. I think a lot of appropriateness, thank you, has been lost. And just the comments people have made. I'm thinking at this point it's so unnecessary, it's so uncouth. No death under any circumstances. There's nothing that justifies it, and it's quite sad. So we pray for the family, strength at this time, and may his soul rest in peace. So Jennifer, what did you find for us?
May his soul rest in peace. Okay, so what I found in the news, a group threatens to expose sponsors of terrorism and banditry in Nigeria. So there's a political group called I Stand with Buhari, that has threatened to expose alleged sponsors of terrorism. So basically what they are saying is they have classified documents that has the names of people who have been sponsoring all the insecurity issues that we've been having in Nigeria. So they have their names, they have their location, where they are currently in Nigeria, and they have their residential addresses. So they're asking them to either comfort or stop whatever they are doing. If not, they're going to bring out their names.
Did they give a timeline so we can speed this up? So we can speed this up, because I think at this point we need something to shake this country.
I think they said,
I don't think it will ever happen.
I think
but-
they said by the end of the month.
Yeah, I don't think it'll happen,
By-
but you
By
know,
the end of the month.
Why do I suspect that this is just another buzz to keep people thinking that
You know.
That there is that's
There's a lot
there
of
is someone with
man-made-
one information that we need that is going to solve all the problems.
Yeah.
You've been hearing that. Please.
We don't think it will happen, but I mean, could you imagine though if such a list existed? And what would happen if you woke up one morning and that news was out? Whilst it sounds on the surface like everything will scatter, everywhere will blow, Nigeria. If we think about the recent events,
if it comes out after 2 days, it will die down.
everybody
Usual
I
Nigerian
think,
way.
I think where Nigeria is headed now, in the minds of people, I'm a bit worried
very.
that people are becoming more and more indifferent to anything that happens. No matter sad, they don't care, really.
Yeah.
And that's not a very good state of mind to be in, because you become complacent, right? You don't care what's going on. You just keep moving. You're just existing. And it's a troubling place to be, because it's also a time bomb ticking, and it can explode at any time if we don't begin to deal with the issues as a country, start looking at them and looking for real solutions to our problems. It's a ticking
It's
time
a ticking time bomb. It feels like we've been sitting on that time bomb for quite a while.
Quite a
And
while.
we continue to. And, you know, when I, follow into that and look at my own story and the fact that we are on this, I mean, it's so sad that children can go to school today and be kidnapped right out of their schools. So my story is breaking news. Well, it was breaking news earlier today. And it says bandits released 27 Afaka Forestry college students. So these students were abducted about 2 months ago in March. And their parents had to go and protest at the House of Assembly, at the National Assembly, and 27 of those students. Now, the thing for me that got me here is that this release was facilitated by Sheikh Ahmad Gumi, who's a Muslim scholar, and former President Obasanjo. They were instrumental in getting these students released. And, this is 10 students 37 were initially abducted, 10 were released, and then these are the other 27 students. But, the funny thing, or the sad thing for me was the comments. So I think our president was saying, oh, now you're favored to have been rescued in this way. You're favored. Obviously, there's a plan for you. Please face your studies. And I'm thinking, they were in school, facing the studies, without, and then no protection.
And right there in
and
school.
right there, they were grabbed. So, you almost feel this sense of hopelessness. Like, so the government is supposed to secure our lives and our property. But then we're finding that it's civilians who are going and brokering the release of citizens and sadly young people who are being kidnapped. And then this is what we're saying. So if we say we shouldn't negotiate, we expect that the alternative will be security operatives swing into action. I mean, we all watch the movies now, and then this is where we find ourselves today. So it almost seems like, is there an acceptance? Is there a, well, it's what it is? Or what? Because, we have these conversations all the time. I'm like, what would take? At one point it was change all the service chiefs, change the service chiefs. They have changed the service chiefs. Please, what has changed? So it takes me back to that quote that we had where it says, if an insurgent goes on for more than 24 hours, there's a hand in it. But I mean, you can conspiracy theories for days, but we're still here. And children are still being adopted. I want to be able to say to you, or want us to be able to say today that, you know what, it won't happen again. But who believes it? It will certainly happen again. So we find ourselves in a sad place. But let's take a break. We'll be right back to talk about our topic today.